Sabrina Carpenter. So for this Sabrina Carpenter word mark, I found this font I wanted to use off an Instagram account that had examples of Sabrina Carpenter inspired fonts, and that's what inspired me to make this word mark. I knew I wanted to incorporate a heart, and I figured the perfect place was the eye as a heart. So I did that by making all the text into outlines and then removing the dot of the eye and shaping out a cute heart. Then I tested out doing some manipulation of the R because I wanted to make a customized effect, but I realized it looked good as is, so then I added color. For color, I wanted pale or baby colors to match the short and sweet aesthetic, and I feel like I accomplished that pretty well. Olivia Rodrigo. For Olivia's word mark, I wanted a sleek rocker logo. Then I knew I wanted to add an electric guitar similar to what she uses during when she plays Obsessed on the Guts tour. I also tested out a drop shadow, but ended up not liking it. Finally, I added it onto a black background and I called it a day. I wanted to incorporate the blood of vampire dripping into the purpleness of sour, so I got a dripping overlay to put on top. And it took me a long time because I wanted to customize the dripping, so I had to mess with the anchor points on the direct selection tool, which was kind of fun. Taylor Swift. For Taylor Swift's logo, since her name is Taylor Swift, and that's exactly 11 letters, and she has 12 albums, but Folklore and Evermore are basically the same album because they are sister albums, I thought that I would use that to my advantage and make every single letter of Taylor Swift's name a different album. After I got all the fonts in, I then rearranged them so that way they fit cohesively together. Once I found all the fonts, then I pulled up the Illustrator color sheet and I used that to pick out the colors. So that's green for Debut, yellowish gold for Fearless, a lighter lilac purple for Speak Now, a deep red for Red, blue for 1989, even though it probably should be beige, black for Reputation, pink for Lover, light gray for Folklore, a weird beige color for Evermore, which I don't know if I quite agree with, but I went with it because it worked well for the design, a dark blue for Midnights, and a mid-tone gray for the Tortured Poets department. And like I said before, I decided to enmesh Folklore and Evermore. So on the W, which is the 10th letter, I did half Folklore and half Evermore. So I made a clipping mask, took half of the W with the same font since they are both used in the same font, and just made the left side of it gray and the right that beige Evermore color. And then I ended up eye picking for The Life of a Showgirl. To finish it off, I zoomed it out a little, I played with the scale, and then I just wanted to leave the background white. Joshua Bassett! So for Joshua Bassett's, this was surprisingly the hardest, and I really had to think about it for a while because I didn't know what kind of vibe I felt like Josh evoked, because his branding really isn't that great, and he doesn't have an actual real logo that I could take inspiration from. So what I did was I took the Golden Years aesthetic and I used a sunflower, which I image traced and then put inside of the O in Joshua. Then after originally having the Joshua and the Bassett the same size, I decided I wanted to make the Bassett a little bit smaller because that made his brand more Joshua over the Bassett, which I feel like Bassett is such a hard brand because there's somebody else, an actress, who is also Bassett as well as the dog. And then now that I had the black and white word mark down, I had to add some color. I knew I wanted the sunflower to be a pale yellow. I didn't want it neon yellow, which is what I started with, and then I kind of made it a little bit more orange, and that turned it into that sunflower color that we all know and love. Then I was trying to debate whether or not I wanted blue or green for the text. I ended up settling on a muted blue because I felt like it complemented the sunflower very well. And that is it. Those are my word marks. You can see the finished product on Kaylee's AUP on Instagram.